Okay, so last video, we worked a little bit on this poster, Artboard 3. Now we are going into Artboard 2. So I'm going to select Artboard 2. And one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the red heart, and then I'm going to hold Shift down and click on the green circle. So now um, they're here. Then I'm going to, after I've done this, I'm going to click on the larger green one to make that the key object. Okay, that's the object which is going to be, um, so the red circle will align with it. So over here in the properties box, I am going to click on horizontal align center. Then I'm going to click on vertical align center. Okay. So they are together now. And now with both of these circles selected, I'm coming up to object, compound path, make. And it looks like the red one has disappeared. Really, the red one has almost like punched a hole in that other circle so that we can see through to the gray below it. Okay. So now we're going to do some more of that. So this is selected. Actually, let me just get closer here. This is selected. And with this selected, I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to click. I want to make sure I'm not on a path. I just want to be in this green area. I'm going to click on this circle. Okay, let go of the Shift, let go of the mouse. And now both of them are connected, but now I'm going to click on the top one because I want to make it the key object. So did you see that bright blue path that came about it? So that we'll put that in the front, which is what I want. These are connected, and I could go over here in the properties and do the align, or in this contextual task bar, I can click on the align here and I can do horizontal align center and vertical align center. Okay. So we're having our concentric circles that way, which is kind of cool. Okay. So that's kind of a quick way to do that. All right. So now let's do some combining shapes. So I want to go to poster parts. And I want to come over here, and I'm going to be using the Shape Builder tool again. It's been a while since we've been doing that. So I'm going to use the selection tool, and I'm going to drag it across the three white circles to select all three. Okay. And then to edit shapes with Shape Builder, they have to be selected. So these are selected. And now I am selecting the Shape Builder tool. Shape Builder tool to me kind of looks like a little brain with an arrow in it, but I'm going to click on the Shape Builder tool and I'm going to move the pointer to the left side of the shapes. And I'm going to drag to the right through some of the shapes. Okay. So I'm going to drag them through. Okay. So you can see that the overlapping shapes are temporarily divided. As I drag from one part to the other, sort of a red outline appeared, and then all of those shapes are merged. Okay. So I'm going to, in this case, I'm going to try that again. And I'm going to have to I need to drag through all of the cloud shapes in order to combine everything. So in that case, I just did those two. Now I want to do everything. So I'm going to click and I'm going to go through all of the shapes. And now they're all combined like that. So I had to kind of weave through that. All right. So now I'm going to try and cut off the bottom of that. This is kind of a different way to do that. I'm going to right now do the selection tool and I'm going to drag this over. So it kind of looks like that a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to shift the cloud shape to shift, click. So now I have both of them selected. I'm going to click on the shape builder tool again. And I'm going to hold down the Alt key. And I'm going to go through all of these and then let go. And then I have cut the bottom half off. Okay. So I'm going to go to View, Fit Artboard and Window. And right now this doesn't have a fill. It looks like it does, but it doesn't. So I'm going to come over to my toolbar, click on the eyedropper. This is highlighted already. So, oh wait, I didn't do the eye. When I come over here, I'm going to, I had my caps lock key on, so that's why it was looking weird. I'm going to click on that, which automatically made that cloud the same color as this cloud. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to combine objects. I'm going to continue to combine objects right now to make a bush. So I'm going to use some of the Pathfinder effects. So I'm going to zoom into this bush shape. In this case, I'm going to just kind of come here. All right. And with the selection tool, I'm going to drag across the two green circles to select them. Okay. And then with the shapes selected in the Pathfinder section here, do you see where it says Pathfinder? Down here in the properties, I'm going to, the first one says click to unite. So I'm going to click this to permanently put these into a single shape. Okay. And the file, if you noticed it, the shape is now the first one, the dark green, and that's because that's the topmost shape. All right. So now this is selected. I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to do the rectangle below it. And in the property section under Pathfinder, I'm going to click on more options. And I'm going to click this bottom one that says minus back. And I'm going to do this to knock the orange rectangle, which is in the back, from the green shape, which is in the front. Okay, so I just did that and that got rid of the rectangle. Okay. All right. So we want to do a little bit of understanding about the way shapes work here. And if you alt click any default Pathfinder, a compound shape path is created. And so that means that the original objects are preserved and editable. So right now, here I am with this cloud. I'm going to click on my select here. And I'm going to drag across all of the shapes to select them all. Right? So a lot of different shapes that are in here. So I'm going to hold down my Alt button and I'm going to come over to Pathfinder and I'm going to click on Unite. And now I'm going to come back over here and they've all been united. Okay. So let's say I wanted to change the shape a little bit. I am right now going to double click within the cloud shape to put it into isolation mode. Okay. And then I'm going to click in the larger ellipse, like this larger circle, to select it. And I'm going to make it smaller by holding down Shift, going to one of these, and just making it a little bit smaller. Okay. So even though I've combined the shape, I can edit it if I put it into isolation mode, select one of them, one of the shapes, I can change that shape. Okay, so I'm going to press Escape key to exit isolation mode. And now I'm going to expand the artwork appearance. So that maintains the shape, but it also means I can no longer edit the original shape. So I'm going to deselect. Okay. I'm going to choose object and wait. I need to click away. I need to select it. And then I'm going to go to object and I'm going to do expand appearance. Okay. And so now this is kind of a permanent single shape right now. All right. So I'm going to go to view, fit artboard and window, and I'm going to get the eyedropper. This is selected, this cloud. I'm going to get my eyedropper and I'm going to click in the other cloud in the final example column. And now that is the color that is inside that cloud. All right. All right, last thing we're going to do with the poster parts is we're going to change this tail into kind of varying widths. So instead of a straight line, it's going to be a little bit more of an organic shape. And for that, we're going to use the reshape tool. So with the selection tool done, we're going to select this vertical line. And then I'm going to do Control plus and get real close to it, like real close. Okay, super close. Okay. And in the toolbar, there is something called a scale tool. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to press and hold and go to the reshape tool. Okay. So now I'm in the reshape tool. And I'm going to move the pointer to the middle of this path. And so I'm going to kind of move here. So I know I'm on the path. And then when the pointer kind of changes, then I'm going to move it out. Okay. To reshape the path. And now I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to pull it out. Might pull this more out so that it's curvy. And you can see every time I did that, I made a new anchor point. So I'm just trying to make that a little more curvy. And now we're going to use the width tool to kind of change the way this stroke looks a little bit. So I'm going to choose the width tool over here. Width tool looks like, I don't know what this looks like. It looks like a harp or something. So I'm going to click on the width tool. All right. And then I am going to move the path pointer over the middle of the path that I just created and reshaped. And now this pointer has a plus next to it. And I'm going to drag away from the line. And it's going to make this section a little bit wider. I want the width to be about 44 pixels. So I actually want it quite a ways. Okay. And so I've kind of created a variable stroke on a path. This isn't a shape with a fill, it's a path. And I'm going to click in an empty area, okay, to deselect the point. And I'm going to move the point or anywhere over the path. So I can kind of see, I should be able to see the width as it goes along, just to kind of check that. Okay, so I can kind of see what that looks like. So I'm going to move the pointer over the top anchor point at the pole path, the very top here. And when I do this, wait, can you see that I have a wavy line next to it? Um, so once I have that, I'm going to double click on this point, and then here's a width dialog box. And here I'm going to change the total width to 0 and click OK. So it's going to go to a point. That's one way to do that. And then on the bottom, I'm going to come down here till I have a wavy line. And I'm going to drag so that the width is about 12 points. Okay. And that's it. I've done that. All right. I'm going to, let's kind of just look here. I want to see I'm sorry, I'm in view, fit all in window. So you can see that I've done everything on poster parts. I've made an organic, I've made a face, I've made a cloud, I mean a bush, another cloud, I've made a tail. Okay, so I've done all of that. Now I'm going to come over to number 2, board 2. Board 2. And one thing that would look a lot better is if this scarf wove around the dachshund instead of just being in front of it. So we're going to use an intertwine tool. And I'm going to click on this scarf. And then I'm going to do Control plus and get real close to it. Okay. And this is actually like a surprisingly easy tool. So I have just this path done. Now I want to hold down shift and also do the body. Okay, so now I've done the body. So I think I've done the whole body. Okay, so I have the whole body and I'm going to go to Object, Intertwine, make. You know what? I don't have the whole body because it wasn't letting me do that. So let me just put everything here. I'm going to click on here. And then I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to click on the body. Okay. I'm going to do object, intertwine. Nope. Okay. So I need to click on the body. Shift click. And I'm going to click on this object, intertwine. Okay. Okay. So now object, intertwine, make. Okay. I finally got them all right. That is not working out. I'm gonna have to pause this for a second. All right, so I was kind of struggling a little bit with this, and I think I figured it out. So I'm clicking on this section, and then I'm coming over here to this front section, holding down Shift and clicking on it, and then going to Object, Intertwine, Make. So it looks like nothing has happened, but we've kind of the scarf and the dog are now grouped and intertwined object. And you can kind of see that up in property, it says intertwine, and down here, I would have to ungroup it. Now it's grouped, okay? So I can now tell Illustrator what parts of the white scarf should go behind the dog body. So I'm going to move, remember I'm in the intertwine tool, kind of this lasso that I've got right now. And I'm going to move the pointer over the white scarf here. And when that part of the scarf highlights that I want it to go behind, I click here and it goes behind. I want this in front, but I want this behind. So I'm going to click on it. And now it is intertwined, which is super cool. So I'm going to go to select, deselect, and I am all done with that. So now I get to do the fun thing. I get to assemble the sign. So I'm going to come down here to Artboard. Actually, I'm going to come down and I'm going to see everything. So view, fit all in window. All right. And I'm going to be putting everything over. I'm going to do the things that I've done. So I am going to move the dog face. Oh, didn't need to do that. So Control Z. I'm going to, first of all, draw a line around that and group them. Okay. And I'm going to move the whole dog over. I will change that later. I'm going to move my tail over. Okay. I'm going to move my plant over. I'm going to move my cloud over. I'm going to put it on top of the cloud that's there. I'm going to move my other cloud over. Okay. And I'm even going to bring this bush over. Okay. So I'm going to clean that up later, but the first thing that I'm going to do is, and I'm also going to make sure I have this whole sign over. I'm going to put that over here. Okay, so I have a lot of work to do, but at least I've started it. I'm going to go to Artboard 2, and I need to make this proportional, of course. So I'm going to click on that face, and then I'm going to make it quite shift. I held shift down, and I'm going to make it quite a bit smaller. I'm actually going to go closer in because I really want to see it. Make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Yeah, I have a few little mistakes. Want that neck to look okay. And then I'm going to hold down shift, make it even smaller. Make sure that the neck is in the right place. This one, I think that I need to make it smaller. Okay. And then I need to also tilt it out. I want it right about here. And right. And I want to make that one smaller too. Okay. That's what that looks like. The Dachshund Diner. I might do the face a little bit smaller still. Okay. So that looks almost perfect. Okay. And if I go over here and fit all in window, I'm going to draw a box around my Dachshund Diner and group them because I don't want anything else to happen to it. So I'm going to move it here. And I'm going to go into poster 3 because now it's up to me to make this look a lot better than it does right now. And I am going to, first of all, make the 24-hour sign quite a bit smaller. Okay. It's going to fit down in this little box. like a lot smaller. Okay, that goes there. This circle goes there. These are in the right place. You know what? I think when I brought this over, I only brought over some one of them. So I'm going to have to go back and get the rest of my greenery. So I'm going to fit all in window. Yes, I needed to group those. And I now need to go back here and make those look a little better. So that's over there. I'm doing a quick check. Awesome. And now I am going to export as, and I'm going to only going to do the third. I'm going to do it as an Adobe PDF. I'm only going to do 3. And I'm going to export that. And that's what I'm going to be turning in.